Yo, what's up, guys? Volume over 100 million again all weekend. So we left the week with that being the case, and we stayed around 130 million. Bored Ape Yacht Club, their ecosystem kind of leading the way. Mutant Apes over 40 ETH now. It's just crazy because they were under 4 like 4 or 5 months ago, not too long ago. Insane. Yeah, let's get the other guys in and work through the weekend. What's up, guys?
Yo.
Hey,
Yep.
GM.
GM. Yeah, so BAYC, I'd say kind of carried the weekend, even though obviously you had volume from Moonbirds and stuff. Stayed over 100 million. The mutants are over 40, which is just crazy to think how you could have had such a solid entry for over a month on those. You could have had under 5 ETH for over a month, I think. Yeah, just insane. Today we're at 54 million. We'll do just above 100 today. So, yeah, not too shabby, volume-wise and everything. Hanging strong. Other side land sale was confirmed, staying in the BAYC realm. Ape, it went up like initially over 17, I believe, and then kind of retraced. Maybe we cool off, maybe another couple days or something, but I mean, we're just so close to April 30th when you're gonna need that ape that I think we just see a steady rise. I mean, do you guys think we see 20?
I think it's dancing around 20. There seems to be resistance at like 19, though. I know we broke 18 after the announcement, and like you said, we've since been back down, but 20 would be big. I get worried because I know there's people with just huge bags of this that seem to dump in massive quantities whenever it pumps. So it would take a lot of buying pressure to make it happen, but I don't think it's impossible. I was saying in a post that I would probably look to sell if it broke past 20 because I expect it to settle around like between like 15 and 17 by the time the sale goes. But that's just me. I don't know. I'm also trying not to overtrade it, so I didn't end up selling it yet. I still have my stack.
Yeah, overtrading can be a huge L. Then you FOMO back in and everything.
I'm up a little bit already, so it's not bad.
Yeah, I think we could see 22. It's a possibility, and not a bad idea to sell there either. I mean, like, what's gonna happen once the land sale's done? Like, I don't know. So, but then again, hopefully you have it and you're using it for the land sale. So, music got me hyped. Right on. Let's go. I think it's like a Kygo Pandora list or something. Mitchapalooza, sad that we could have copped a mutant ape and made double or triple by just holding, then making 30-40 small plays. Yeah, it's like you just need a couple winners, and obviously, like, if you had just bought as many of those as you could have, which obviously, I mean, still 4 ETH is a good amount of money, especially back then. I think Ethereum was above 4K, so 16 grand per. But yeah, could have made a ton of money buying those. You would have gotten about 8 ETH or more in ape. So just yeah, crazy.
And you'd have this land airdrop or whatever privileges they get for this coming up too.
Yeah, crazy. Lots of ways to make money, especially in NFTs right now.
I'm surprised Bored Apes are doing as well as they are.
Man, 140 something, right?
147. I thought the sale was priced in already, but I guess they're probably going to break 150 by the time this happens.
Yeah, nuts.
So, yeah, I don't even. And the floor is just dumb thin too. It's like a couple in between each one. It's like, yeah, those guys are good for them, man. Between the airdrop, I mean, I saw something on Twitter that said you'd be up over like 700K if you held the Bored Ape from Mint and just didn't sell any of the airdrops.
Everything would be 700K. That's right.
Unreal.
Yeah, crazy. So some news today out of OpenSea acquiring Gem XYZ, which is basically the floor sweeping tool. I mean, dude, from what I would imagine, I bet this would be from like a technical standpoint, like not very difficult. I just think like again, this is like early entry. What was their main competitor? Genie or something? But Genie
Yeah,
like they didn't have new collections or something. So I don't know. Seems like
I
somebody
think
just made a killing on an idea that was, I mean, a good idea, but they were just first to market and took the market for people doing this stuff and just got bought out by a big company.
yeah, I've used Gem a couple of times. You basically just click on NFTs you'd like to buy in a collection, and it kind of creates like a cart for you, and then it bundles them into one singular transaction, which lowers the gas fee,
Gas, yeah.
as it were, if you were just to buy them individually. And I was using Gem because I was hearing that there was supposedly going to be some sort of airdrop for using the actual service, but now with OpenSea acquiring it, the community expectation is that that'll no longer be the case, which is disappointing. So I'm seeing people say they're going to go back to Genie. Gem was better because it would refresh listings faster, so you wouldn't start sending transactions, especially if you were trying to buy like a new collection. It would help refresh that quicker, so you wouldn't be failing a bundled transaction, which would fail the entire thing. Um, and that's why I liked it. But maybe Genie will improve their service. But yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if how OpenSea will plan to implement the technology. Maybe they'll have some sort of sweeping tool, but they've just been so bad lately. I mean, with the floor prices being way behind, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I like using third party when I can. So Gem was good, and I'll be switching to Genie.
Right. Samuel Paul asked, "What do we think about Bored Ape Kennel Club?" There was some news or maybe even just a rumor that you could use your kennel club if you had a mutant or a bored ape in other land to like go explore or something and find stuff. Um, the buy on this, it was like 10 or 11, I think, a few days ago. Yeah, and now it's 14. Obviously, if that's a pretty good way to enter the BAYC ecosystem aside from ape. Um, Obviously, it's more expensive now. It's 40K, 42,000 for a kennel club. At 15 ETH, man, it's just so crazy. I don't know.
I
Trying
heard a
to,
play this morning that I thought was kind of interesting. People like we could talk Coda for a little bit, right? Like Coda is going to be the new metaverse, assuming it'll be the new metaverse NFT for Bored Ape, and a play that one of these guys on the NFT morning show was talking about was looking for a buy on Kennel Club when people holding Kennel Club look to liquidate and get into a Coda just because it's the new thing. And he said we could see like he's targeting between like 8 and 10 ETH on Kennel Club and just trying to buy as many as he can because he thinks that that's going to be the first thing people try to liquidate, especially if
yeah,
you're
that
a
makes
BAYC
sense.
guy, to just buy Codas because this is the first time that they're not getting it for free, or at least that's the expectation at this point.
Yeah, there's gonna be some crazy plays to be had, and you're gonna look back and be like, man, why didn't I buy this or that? Coda could be one, obviously, or it could be one that just isn't good. You just never know. But
Mhm.
that's actually kind of smart to think people dumping, other things from the ecosystem for a Coda. Um, yeah, I like that.
I
I don't
expect
hate that.
Coda to probably open between my target's like between 7 and 10 ETH. I think it's pretty reasonable,
I
straight off the
almost,
bat.
yeah, I remember that now, and now, but now with everything and all these floors and stuff, I have to raise it. I have to raise my
Really?
expectations. Yeah,
What do you think?
I mean, dude, if kennels are 15, I don't see how they're not close to that, close to
Yeah,
kennels.
it depends on how they look too. If they're killer, then
Yeah,
it could be really cool.
if
Yeah.
they're killer, I just don't now. I don't see because that was, dude, mutants were like 25 or whatever or 30 when we were talking about that, and that made more sense being around 5 to 10 somewhere in there. Now
Hmm.
with mutants above 40 and kennels 15, yeah, I think you gotta. I'm adjusting to where I think those could open at, um,
Sure.
with
Yeah.
the hype and everything. And there's not much hype behind Kennel. I think there's some, but the hype behind a new BAYC project, and if they look really cool, I think Kennels look like trash. So if Codas look really cool, I think we could see that 15 ETH floor price. I mean, especially with what Moonbirds just did out the gate. I don't know. There's a lot of money out there that's been kind of like, if you want to say created or something recently, with Azuki's flying. They got the beans. There's some ETH. You got the Moonbirds. People get some money out of that maybe. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of money going around right now, which is why we've seen this volume too. So
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Some other news from today. Ryan Carson stepping down, COO of Moonbirds. Is that going to be a good thing, or I don't know? Your thoughts, just because you're all over this Moonbird stuff.
So yeah, Ryan Carson helped found Moonbirds with Kevin Rose. They both he was the COO, so Chief Operations Officer, and he announced yesterday that he was launching his fund called 121G, which is basically an NFT acquisition fund that you pay into, and you kind of group invest, network, and acquire like blue chip NFTs, basically like an acquiring and holding strategy to get like some of the rarest NFTs that are out there. Ryan Carson, he created Treehouse, that app, or it was like a more social media platform, and he obviously announced this yesterday. The Moonbirds community was pretty upset with this. His tweet got a lot of engagement. Everyone was saying like, this is ridiculous that he would go and try to create this new community after like kind of riding the hype of Moonbirds. I saw a lot of FUD from people who owned Moonbirds, and I was a little bit worried yesterday, but Kevin Rose addressed it last night and said he would make an announcement this morning, and today he announced that Ryan Carson is leaving. I don't know if he actually wanted to leave, or if Kevin Rose just kind of kicked him out. But now they're looking for a new COO. And rumor has it that Alexis Ohanian could be in the running for that spot. Alexis Ohanian is one of the founders of Reddit. Really big NFT guy now as well. He holds a couple Moonbirds. He's a big BAYC holder as well. So pretty interesting. It was honestly a little bit worrisome last night, the reaction from the community after seeing the Ryan Carson tweet. But now I think it's a little bit more bullish for this long term. I think Ryan Carson was kind of like a 2 VC, 2 entrepreneur type kind of guy for the space. I think he was bringing like his Web 2 background, and was a little bit like not sensitive to the fact that like you probably don't want to tweet about your project's floor price, or like tweet about this right after you just launched Moonbirds 10 days ago. So I think Kevin Rose made the right decision to get rid of him, and I'm excited for what's to come. Obviously, I've been nested for since that announcement went live on last Friday. Nesting's been doing pretty well. If you look at the Dune link that I sent, there's approximately 8,959 Moonbirds nested out of the 10,000 collection. So everyone is pretty much taken to this nesting thing. If you look on OpenSea, there's only 305 listed out of 10,000 items. So I'm expecting any big announcement or any real news event to drive up some more volume and push the floor. So I'm still happy with this investment, but I think it's a good thing that Carson is gone.
Cool. Let's see, where do we have Accutars given out today after the contract issue, and they're sitting at a 3.2 floor. Actually, let's update it here. Well, it shows some at like 2.95. So, yeah, go ahead. I mean, McKay or AD. Or McKay or Slump.
I think McKay knows about there was a big contract issue, so I think McKay knows more about it than I do.
Sorry, no, you're good. I was talking to these guys. Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly sure what to say. There was like a contract exploit where these guys were supposed to do some sort of mint or airdrop, I guess, and basically how these contracts are set up is there's like functions that the authorized developers can call if there was like a mistake, and if funds were needed to be refunded or extracted, each of those would have a corresponding function that the contract address, developers could deploy and distribute accordingly. The issue is with this one, they made an attempt originally at unlocking the funds, which actually worked inversely. And what it ended up doing was basically they had an integer. I looked at the contract over the weekend. They had an integer. Like, it's very simple logic that you don't need any coding experience to understand. They had some sort of integer to describe the amount of attempts made, I believe, to refund all of the buyers. And basically how the logic worked was like, the function said, okay, we will refund all wallets who have made a payment to this address if a number is under, I think it was 2 or 1, and that number was one above what the number was needed to be. So you can't go back and edit these contracts once they're deployed. So because someone put the number 1 and the function was basically saying, okay, I need this number to be less than 1. For that reason entirely, the funds are now stuck in the wallet and cannot be recouped. So that's what happened. And I know Not Chef Bob on Twitter, Hassan, made an attempt at working with them before they had made that initial attempt of getting funds recouped. But their attempt to do that actually worked against them, and now the funds are officially locked up. So, yeah.
Could you imagine? Oh my god.
Shitty contract.
Yeah.
It's not great. But the cool part is, well, not cool part, people still pretty excited for these. And I don't know, I feel like we might see once I don't know if they're fully available yet. I'm not sure how many there are total. I feel like we might see a buying opportunity potentially. This is kind of like a low-key big project. I don't know. I know the Nifty guys talk about it every morning. They love it. So I don't know. I think if they go low enough and the hype kind of remains and they kind of have that same demand that they did pre-issues, I still think we could see some opportunity for some profit there. I'm not the best when it comes to ETH, so I'm not sure what that would look like number-wise, but I don't know. Maybe. Looks like we're at 2.5 now. I know a couple people had said they were looking at a sub 1. That's when they were going to start buying. So I don't know if you guys know more than I do about this ETH ecosystem and want to take a chance and on a pretty established project. This under 1 is, I guess, where I'd be targeting.
Yeah, it's coming down quickly right now. I think we're at 2.55, and then there's 4,500 more according to their description. 15,000 total. Yeah.
I just see this as a guy who's building, and this is far from the end of what he's going to do. And he's positioned himself more as like rather than an artist trying to make just some art. He's almost looking at it as like a business entity. He's got like investors and everything that sets him up for success. So kind of an easier bet long term than most projects here. So could totally be some opportunity if we see low enough.
Cool. We'll keep an eye there, see if it gets low enough to see like a lower risk entry. Elon buying Twitter, seems like that is going to happen. Hopefully,
absolutely nuts.
Yeah, hopefully this, for our sake, stops all this spamming of bots, because he's talked about some sort of authorization system or something. I mean, let's see. Honestly, let's see what Twitter ticker is doing. Up 3.7% today. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe it's a good opportunity to buy this sucker.
$54.20 per share is what he's valued it at.
Yeah, and it's at 50.77. Just do some options here. Just long it, dude. No,
that's pretty risky.
Not financial advice. Will be interesting to see what he does. If it does seem like he's gonna acquire it, and who he's gonna bring back to the platform. Is he gonna like unban a bunch of people? Probably. Kind of seems like he would. I don't know. I'm happy about it, but maybe I shouldn't be.
I'm interested to see what it means for the NFT integration to Twitter. Elon has to be aware of NFTs at this point. I'd be shocked if he isn't. I know he does. To our knowledge, he doesn't have any exposure. But I know Twitter Blue. Obviously, you can have your NFT profile picture integrated. I wonder if maybe there'll be more integration. I hope that there's not less integration if Elon decides like he thinks NFTs are dumb and basically is like, screw this, like I'm pulling the plug on all this stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that someone can do this. One person can acquire a company like this. It's historic, and it's pretty cool. Elon's pretty baller, so definitely cool to see. McKay, what do you think? Because I know you're a big Elon guy.
Just in regards to if he was to buy NFTs, or
no, just what do you think about him buying Twitter?
yeah, I think it'll be huge. I don't think we're going to see a lot of changes though, because Twitter has a board, and it's not going to be Elon coming on and just like taking over the company. They have a whole board of directors who have to authorize decisions. So I really don't. I think it's just going to be like when that net neutrality thing was like a big deal for like 2 weeks and everyone lost their shit, and then we forget about it 3 weeks later. So I don't know. Just I really don't think much will change, honestly.
Yeah, we'll forget about it for sure. But yeah, I mean, maybe there's something that occurs like every 6 months or something that's just kind of bigger news or whatever. But short term, everyone will be talking about it for a minute. All right, let's get into this awful Bored Ape Instagram hack. They took I didn't actually count. It looked like I don't know, maybe 15, 20 apes. I saw at least 2 CryptoPunks, rap CryptoPunks, several Azukis. Just crazy. I mean, basically just another scam hack or whatever.
Yeah, I guess people they posted a link in their bio, and then people just synced their MetaMask wallets to the thing and signed it over, and that was it. So crazy. I read in one of our chats that they had apparently the Bored Ape Instagram had 2-factor authentication, and these hackers somehow got through it. So I don't know. I mean, shit. Obviously, it's like not ideal timing with everything going on for them. But the community is the strongest one there is, so I'm not really worried about it. It just is really unfortunate for those people that lost out. But again, like they wouldn't post something on Instagram and not on Twitter, so you got to always be careful. Double check everything.
Yeah, you can see I'm showing now the wallet that did this stuff. Some of the CryptoPunks and Clone X's, Azukis, and they really quickly they moved them really quickly somewhere else too. I don't know if they're selling or what they're doing with all these things, but just 26 seconds ago. This is 1D5C. Huh. I don't know what they're doing. They're moving it around quickly though. Maybe a way to stop them from getting locked before they sell or something.
I think OpenSea locked them, but I've had something locked on OpenSea before, and you can still totally sell it on LooksRare or X2Y2. Yeah. So if they undercut the floor hard enough, they'll be bought.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, let's see if we can even see any of these. If you can see them being sold anywhere. I don't know. I don't know if it would show the sale. Does it show the sale on OpenSea if it occurs on LooksRare? I thought it would.
I'm not sure.
It just shows a transfer here. You can look through here. Oh, wow. What are they doing? Mint? They're minting a bound in it. Just crazy. I don't know what they're doing. 12.3 ETH. They may have sold this for literally 12.3 ETH. I don't know. If you do deep dives on these, you'll see like what this hacker is doing with these. It looks like they're selling them for super cheap or something. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Anyways, another crazy hack. Let's get out of this stuff. I think we're out of Ethereum and we are into Solana. Holy cannoli. Our D-Gods 320 Solana.
D-Gods are 320 Solana.
What happened, brah? Oh my gosh.
Frank woke up from his nap, started tweeting, and it feels like all of Solana just woke up over the weekend. Honestly, it was a very slow start to the week, and I think that's partially in part to so many big mints that were happening. People were just selling to get liquidity, which I do think we're going to see again this week, but I'll get to that. And yeah, Frank started tweeting. Next week's going to be huge. Something's coming. Just hyping everyone up, and boom, they're 320. I think they were even a little higher at one point.
Wow.
I wish you held yours.
I know. I can't even believe that. I was just thinking, this Coinbase thing's stupid. Nothing else is gonna really happen. They retraced like a little bit for a week or something, and now they just exploded. Huh.
We had one member who I was talking to who's very insistent on getting one of these, and I'm super psyched. He managed to get two at 160 and 175. So
wow. Heck
he's
yeah.
up.
He's up over 10K on each. That's sick.
Yep. I don't know. It seriously just feels like everyone was sleeping for 6 days and then Saturday morning woke up.
Yeah, that's crazy. James Bick said, we think land sale will cause a massive bear for NFTs. We've got no more big market catalysts left now that Coinbase is launched. And so Coinbase launching actually didn't do crap, I don't think. There's like no volume on that site. Nothing. That literally didn't do anything. And once the land sale's over, you have quotas for one thing. And I mean, think how quickly things like Azuki and Moonbirds popped up. Like they came out of nowhere. We weren't looking at them 2 or 3 weeks out, really. Not many people. I don't see this. I don't see the land sale being done or whatever. I don't see that. Yeah, and the Coinbase thing's beta. Like you barely have people using it. Like once it's open to everybody, maybe that would do something. I just don't think that anyone saying there's no reason to think any of this would cause a bear market. The volume on Coinbase was like the first day or two was like literally 20 Ethereum or something, or even less. It was like a joke. It was literally, it was like I saw somebody say it was like 1/7 or 1/8 the floor price of a Bored Ape, I'm pretty sure. Like over a day or two's time period. It's really bad. So yeah, I don't think I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, back to Solana. So you're saying biggest week of mints yet? We had the nerds today. That was kind of funny. But yeah, what's going on this week?
So nerds are minting right now, but they messed something up with their whitelist token. So if you have one, you can just use it over and over again. This was the start of a pretty hyped up week for mints. I'm a little torn on if this is going to be either really good or really bad for this project. I feel like it's kind of in between. But we'll see. Usually when things get flooded at first, they kind of come back and do pretty well. So I minted 2 of them. Our chat's minting a bunch right now, so hoping for the best here. But tomorrow, I think, is probably the biggest day. We've got the OK Bears and the Orcs, both of which are hugely hyped up. People are probably going to be selling off to get liquidity for both of those more than the rest. We'll talk more on those tomorrow, but just wanted to start listing them. Wednesday, we've got Lavish Lions and Disarticulated Scullies, 2 other really big ones. I don't think we have anything Thursday to my knowledge yet that's super big. And then to end the week on Saturday, we've got Yahoo Avatars, which I'll talk about more in detail on other podcasts this week as we get closer. But what I wanted to talk about was that when we have these big mints and people try to sell off liquidity, this is a really good time to start looking into other big projects that are kind of slow. This happened last week, and I kind of just sat back and watched to kind of observe and see where things went. And this plays into what I was talking about earlier, how on Saturday things just rocketed up. So I actually have a list of projects kind of for people to look into as like longer holds and more investments than quick flips that I'm going to be posting. So be on the lookout for that, because I think we'll see some good buying opportunities coming up.
Cool. Yeah, I need to get ready.
Yeah.
What's up with the cat rejects?
So that is another. We saw this big derivative wave again. The first one was Dead Soul that went kind of crazy over the weekend, and this cat rejects is the new one. They made so much noise, and I think partially in part to the real cats hitting over 100.
Yeah.
At one point, these guys are just nuts. Their Discord is nuts. The art is a mix of Cats on Crack and the Dead Rejects. They look really cool. Super cheap, like 0.1 mint. So, I mean, it's still 100% a degen play because there's every possibility it could just be a rug. But for 0.1 Sol, I'm willing to risk that, and I think most people are as well.
Wait, which is 0.1 Sol?
The Cat Rejects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dead Souls was a 0.05 mint, I think. I think we started looking at them at like 0.3. They ran up to 0.8.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was the start of another derivative wave.
Cool. What's going to go on with the cats in that milk? It's going to be like
that milk is, it's kind of like the mutant serum, I think. Cool. That's another one that's on my list. That project has evaded me at every step of the way. They were 1.2 Sol at one point. We all thought they were super ugly, that they wouldn't do anything. And every time they punt, I said, "Oh, that's cool. I don't think they're going to get higher." And I'm eating my words, and I'm just going to pretend they don't exist. But yeah,
there
might be some opportunity. I think some of them look cool, but 100 Sol is just insane for that, and you can't change my mind. Yeah. But their community is like, of all NFTs ever, I think there's a website, I forget the name of the website, that like actually measures that out. They're like the #1 NFT community of ever, which is insane.
Crazy. All right, done there. We'll have a lot of Solana stuff over the next few days, sounds like. So nifty recap on the Ralph Grassetti.
Yep. So Ralph Grassetti is not a new artist to Nifty, and he's done some pretty cool stuff. He's a very well-known and experienced 3D artist. He's worked on stuff like God of War from 2018, which was a huge game, the Mass Effect trilogy, some DC and Marvel stuff, just a lot of cool experience under his belt. His older projects have sold for a ton, and yesterday he had another collection where two we had access to as a public draw. Pretty high supply for a $1,000 NFT, both at 150 editions each, but there's like 30 sales on each already. Some as high as 1,500, which for a Nifty drop is really solid. They're a little bit lower than I thought they'd be right now at 1,200. Still profitable, which is nice, but I think if I had one at this point, I'd be holding them. I think his last drop before this was 4 months ago, and his original drop had only climbed since then. I can't imagine that there won't be another one, and the benefit of holding these won't be pretty profitable. Because if you look at the drop yesterday with all the collectors only ones, those are all, I mean, significantly higher. You've got the editions at a 30, at 17 grand, the edition of 16 at looks like 30 grand. And it's just, I always say holding Nifties will 90% of the time pay off, if not always, and this is a perfect example. And we had a decent amount of guys win, which was awesome.
Heck yeah. What was I'm looking at Max Payne again. Was mint cost 2,000 on these?
Max Payne?
Yeah.
It was 3,100.
Oh, so it's actually down now if you didn't sell. I did end up selling mine. Interesting.
Yeah, I still think those will be well priced in the future. He basically sold it as an ETH, and I just find it hard to believe that a guy like XCopy won't make it worth holding.
Yeah.
Which is, how we framed it at first. We said, don't buy this if you can't afford to sit on $3,000 in an investment. And it was just an added bonus that they almost went 2x.
I'm always
3 days later.
With art stuff, I'm always like kind of skeptical because I know how many people can make this kind of digital art stuff, and I don't know how many of them are like in the space yet, if that makes sense. But
that's a fair point.
Obviously these people are really well known and all that stuff, and so like they don't. It's very hard to get well known. So obviously this guy could be like the biggest NFT artist in 10 years and still just as popular. So, or just like massively popular. So anyways, cool. I like Nifty's been really really good for members. Paints, what were those one? Paints was another one. Ferocious. This is such easy money.
Yeah, and we all.
But they've come down so much. Holy cannoli.
Yeah, a lot of these things I've noticed. They have that initial like week of hype, and then at that point it just turns into a hold until they become.
Sell it. Yeah.
Yeah, or hold out for the long term.
Yeah, that's what I like to take my profits and run on a lot of stuff, but doesn't work well when you buy, something like a doodle, you sell it for 2 ETH profit and then they run another 15 ETH or something. So anyways, I'm done for the day. You guys have anything else we want to touch on at all?
I did want to mention really quick about the Yaku avatar mint. They changed to Magic Eden, meaning that there's no more whitelist token. So that means a few things. One, I think that people started to sell off a little bit when they found out that they couldn't sell the token. So if you're looking to get in before that snapshot, now might be a good time. And I think long term for the project, it just makes the avatars more valuable. So just wanted to kind of touch on that. Another cool thing that they're doing, if you're following their Twitter, and I had mentioned it in our Yaku Corp channel, they're doing a controlled public mint, which is actually how I got into the first round of the BAYC mint. It's not a whitelist, but it's like the step before a true public. So if you're not in that controlled public section, you're not going to really have a chance. So if you guys can get into that, turn their tweet notifications on, be ready, because I think they have another server specifically for that. And there's no way that these things aren't profitable if you can mint them.
Cool. Sounds good. We'll see you guys.
One more thing.
Oh, go ahead, man.
Oh, one more thing. My frog has sold for our 10 soul challenge. Currently,
let's go.
We lost $170, so now we have 8.4 soul.
Still think those are going to go up, but it's okay. We'll get the next one.
All right. Cool. We will see you guys tomorrow.
On to the next.
Yeah.
Don't mint from Instagram.
Yeah. See you guys.